Hey guys, this is Best for Star 1130 back today with my much anticipated 2021 NFL mock draft, my first one. So the draft is April 29th through May 1st, so we're in April, so it's officially draft season, and I cannot wait. So I'm going to give you my first ever mock draft for this year, what I think will happen. What I think will happen. Most likely, by the way, the disclaimer, this says no trades. Most likely in a few days or so, I will do one with trades though. So look out for that. Anyways, let's not do the daily in the intro anymore. Let's jump right into it. So one, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. There's really no discussion to be had here. I mean, if you think anything but Trevor Lawrence, I'm not going to say you're stupid. I'm just going to question it a little because it's kind of obvious Gardner Minshew's not the answer. They're building somewhat kind of a good team there. They signed Marvin Jones on defense. They signed some guys, Marvin Jones and DJ Chark, and at times D.D. Westbrook. They can form a nice receiving trio. And Laviska Shenault, you can use him over the field on defense. I have them pick up another defensive player at pick 25. We'll have to wait and see for that later in the video. But yeah, 1 Jaguars, I have Trevor Lawrence. 2 Jets, I have Zach Wilson. Sam Darnold, got traded to the Carolina Panthers the other day. I was not expecting the Panthers. Apparently, the Panthers went all in on Deshaun Watson, but it's uncertain, as you know, right now. I mean, if you live under a rock, I guess you don't know, but you know. Probably know by now that there's a bunch of assault allegations against Deshaun Watson. I'm not going to speak on that, get into that here, but basically 24 women have accused him of assault. It's up to 24 now, so not good situation, kind of messy. So the Panthers went out and got Sam Darnold. The Panthers said they could still draft a quarterback in this year's draft. It doesn't take them out of anything, but I don't really believe that. It's kind of a smoke screen. But on to the Jets, I have them picking Zach Wilson from BYU. I think either Zach Wilson or Mac Jones are the biggest NFL ready quarterback. So yeah, I have them drafting Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's throw at the pro day was awesome. His pro day was awesome. I really like Zach Wilson. Next, 3 49ers. I have them selecting Trey Lance. Trey Lance is kind of kind of a one-off situation, weird situation, I guess you could say, if you will, because he only played 1 game this year. You have to have a spring season to prepare for the NFL draft, so he played 1 game, and that 1 game he was okay. Nothing spectacular, but not terrible either from North Dakota State, and I think they're in the FCS, so the level of competition wasn't really there, but he has the most upside in this NFL draft, in my opinion. He has the most upside in this NFL draft, in my opinion. Small school guy, but he can get it done. Same school that Carson Wentz went to, so but I have them selecting him over Mac Jones. I've heard a lot of Mac Jones chatter recently. I don't think Mac Jones should go ahead of Justin Fields or Trey Lance at this point, but Trey Lance has a lot of upside. The 49ers trade up to 3 to get the quarterback of the future. They said John Lynch, the general manager, apparently they didn't talk at all to Nick Saban in the 2 pro days Alabama had about Mac Jones, but they did. That's just another smoke screen. A lot of smoke screens in draft season here, especially in April, revving up to the draft. But I got Trey Lance going to the 49ers. They're asking for a first-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo, but I don't think they'll get it. I think they'll get a third-round pick, maybe squeeze out a second round, but I bet my money on third-round pick they trade Jimmy Garoppolo. So, 3 49ers draft Trey Lance to be their quarterback of the future. 4 Falcons. This is an interesting one. They could go defense, Micah Parsons, Patrick Surtain, pair with A.J. Terrell. They could go, Micah Parsons, Patrick Surtain, but I have pegged in Justin Fields going here. They get their quarterback of the future. Apparently, Arthur Smith, the new Falcons head coach, thinks Matt Ryan has 2 years left at minimum of talent, but I think in the front office and general manager, Terry Fondant said, no way, we got to get a new quarterback in here, and I think you do. You have to prepare for your future. You have to ensure for your future. I think after this year, they'll move on from Matt Ryan and Julio Jones at that. Topic for another day, discussion for another day, but they'll move on from those 2. So you have to get your quarterback of the future. So I have the Atlanta Falcons taking Justin Fields at number 4. Justin Fields, I don't know, he has most boomer bust potential in this draft. His draft stock changes every day. He could be the second quarterback taken or the last quarterback taken. I have him as the 4th quarterback taken here, if you remember correctly, throughout this video just now. But, yes, draft stock is changing every day, but Falcons got to look out for their future, so they take Justin Fields at 4. Next, at 5, we have the Cincinnati Bengals on the clock, which I have them taking Oregon offensive tackle Penei Sewell. Apparently Joe Burrow is really pushing the coaching staff and front office to take Jamar Chase because LSU, obviously, but to pair him up and be teammates again in college or in the NFL from college at LSU, like I just said. But I think they should and will draft Penei Sewell because I don't know if Joe Burrow got injured towards ACL because of the offensive line, but the offensive line was not good. Jonah Williams, he's been decent, but he's been injured. Billy Hart, Bobby Hart, whatever. They released him, and the Bills signed him. So, but they have Penei Sewell. They signed Riley Reef. So if you draft Penei Sewell, this offensive line is looking pretty good, at least a lot better. Well, anything will be better than last year, but I think Joe Burrow will thrive if they sign Penei Sewell. It's not the most sexy pick. It's not the most, eye-popping pick, studded pick, but you need that offensive line attack. So I have them the Bengals drafting Oregon offensive tackle Penei Sewell, the fifth overall pick. Sorry about that. Next, at 6, at 6, the Miami Dolphins are on the clock, in which they select LSU wide receiver Jamar Chase. Some people are saying they could draft Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith at 6 and draft Najee Harris at 18. But I don't think so. I know they have Will Fuller, and they have Devontae Parker and Preston Williams at wide receiver, but I think if they get Jamar Chase, this offense will be close to elite. Kyle Pitts, I thought about it, pair him with Mike Gesicki as a 2-tight-end set like the Patriots did with Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, but I have the Kyle Pitts going in a few picks here, couple picks here, but I won't spoil it, but I just think they should draft Jamar Chase. The only thing holding it back is Tua. Tua has all the weapons in the world, just like Drew Lock, and those two haven't capitalized on him, so we'll have to see what happens. Next, at 7, the Detroit Lions are on the clock, in which they take Alabama wide receiver Jalen Waddle. I'm liking Jalen Waddle over Devontae Smith more and more. Jalen Waddle has that more downfield speed, but a route runner, in my opinion. It's really close, but Alabama has really good receivers over the years. I mean, Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones. But can't think of all of them on the top of my head, but those are 2 I just thought of. And obviously, Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy, and now John Mechie this year, and now Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith are coming out. Devontae Smith won the Heisman, but I think the Lions will draft Jalen Waddle. Apparently, they said they could draft a quarterback at 7, but they have Jared Goff. I know they cut Chase Daniel, but they have Jared Goff. That doesn't really make much sense to me. If you draft Jalen Waddle, you have Jalen Waddle, because you lost Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay, so you need a wide receiver bad, but Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, and T.J. Hawkinson for tight end for the future looks pretty good. If Jared Goff doesn't perform this year, you can cut him and trade him again and draft a quarterback in the 2022 draft, because the 2022 quarterback class is pretty good with Sam Howell. And that's the only top one I can think of, but Sam Howell is good. So So the Lions draft Jalen Waddle at number 7 overall. Number 8 overall, the Panthers. This is where Florida tight end Kyle Pitts goes. If you think Kyle Pitts is just the tight end, you're wrong. Kyle Pitts. If you think that's just wrong. He can line up in the slot, he can line up outside, he can literally do anything. The Bills, I want to get Kyle Pitts, but they have to trade up immensely to get him, probably number 6 or 7, so the Panthers ahead of the Panthers. But the Panthers, Ian Thomas hasn't really worked out for me, in my opinion. Is at tight end, so I just don't think he's really that good. So you have, obviously, they just traded for Sam Darnold, as I mentioned earlier in this video with the Jets. But you have Sam Darnold at quarterback. By the way, they said they could draft on a quarterback. This doesn't take him out of anything. I don't think they will, though, because Sam Darnold, I think they view him as the future. When they traded for him, hours later, they said, hey, Teddy Bridgewater, you can seek a trade now and talk to other teams and speak to other teams. So he's going to do that. But they invested 3 years, $63 million in the 2020 offseason last year in the NFL. And obviously that backfired. But Kyle Pitts. So they'll have Sam Darnold at quarterback, Christian McCaffrey at running back, DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, then newly signed ex-Seahawk David Moore at wide receiver, then Ian Thomas from time to time at guess he can improve at tight end, but Kyle Pitts at tight end too. The offense will be close to scary. It will be scary if they draft Kyle Pitts. So I have Kyle Pitts going to the Carolina Panthers at number 8 overall. Okay, next, sorry about that. Next, at number 9 overall, we have the Denver Broncos, and I have them drafting linebacker Micah Parsons from Penn State. Micah Parsons, some off the field issues, but I think he's really high. His draft stock has risen in the last couple months, in my opinion, mainly last month. They could draft Mac Jones here because Mac Jones is still available according to my mock draft here, but I have them getting Micah Parsons. Drew Lock gave him one more year if he doesn't capitalize on the weapons they have. Cortland Sutton, they lost Phillips Lindsay, but Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, and Tim Patrick at times at wide receiver, and then at running back Melvin Gordon, and then draft another guy in the late rounds like Demetric Felton or someone, and then at tight end, Noah Fant, obviously. So, yeah, but I have them drafting Micah Parsons going to Denver Broncos at number 9 overall. Next on the clock at number 10 overall, Cowboys, Patrick Surtain. Surtain, however you say it. Patrick Surtain said he would love to pair up again with ex-college teammate at Alabama, Trayvon Diggs. As a cornerback duo, and that would look like a nice cornerback duo. They lost Xavier Woods to the Vikings, but if they can somehow draft Javon Holland too, the secondary would look really good. They have Trayvon Diggs, who played fairly well in my opinion. Definitely better than Jeff Gladney and I always forget his name from the Bears, the corner. Definitely better than Jeff Gladney and Jalen Johnson from Utah. So yeah, but and way better than Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah is not good at all. But, yeah, that's pretty good secondary. They could go offensive line here. They could go Rashaan Slater here. They could try to trade Michael Gallup in the draft and get another wide receiver here. They could go Kyle Pitts if he's still available, but obviously I don't have that in my mock draft. So I have Alabama corner pairing with his old teammate Trayvon Diggs from Alabama again, going to the Dallas Cowboys at number 10 overall. Next, at 11 overall, I have the New York Giants selecting Rashaan Slater, offensive tackle Rashaan Slater from... Where is he from again? Well, I didn't write it down here, but I forgot his college. I think it's Penn State, but don't quote me on that. Rashaan Slater from Penn State. The Giants could go Jalen Waddle, but he's not available. Devontae Smith, but he's not available. Sorry about that. I was trying to look for something and then my phone dropped, but anyway, ignore that. Jalen Waddle's not available. Devontae Smith is not available. So I think they go Rashaan Slater here. They could go Mac Jones again, but I would give Dalen Jones one more year. Evan Engram hasn't turned out like I want him to. If the Kyle Pitts is available, I'll draft Kyle Pitts. That's what I'm saying for like every team, but because Kyle Pitts is that good, but yeah, but Penn State offensive lineman Rashaan Slater goes to the Giants at number 11 overall. 12 Eagles are on the clock. I have them drafting Devontae Smith. The Eagles need a wide receiver. Jalen Reagor had an up and down rookie season, mostly down rookie season. He can still get better, but I don't really like his game from his rookie year. They released Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson. They have J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, which they drafted him over DK Metcalf, which is just very stupid in my opinion, as you can tell. From their production, DK Metcalf is way better than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who they drafted a wide receiver from Stanford, 2019 draft, so a couple years ago, but they drafted Devontae Smith here from Alabama. Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor can improve, then that would be a good wide receiver duo, and Miles Sanders and Boston Scott running back, and Zach Ertz. They still haven't released him, but I think they will. I mean, Dallas Goedert is the future tight end there. I really like Dallas Goedert. He's underrated. One of the most underrated players in the league, in my opinion. So, because of all that, the Eagles take Alabama wide receiver Devontae Smith at number 12 overall. Next, at 13 overall, I have the Chargers drafting Christian Darrisaw. In an ideal world, I forgot where he's from, too. These offensive tackles, other than Penei Sewell, I kind of forget where they're from. I didn't write it down. I just wrote their names down, they pick. But in the ideal world, the Chargers get Rashaan Slater, but he already went 11 all. We're all 2 picks earlier to the Giants. So they get Christian Darrisaw, pretty similar guy. So yeah, Christian Darrisaw, they need help on the offensive line. Brian Bulaga is not improving. He's just declining. They signed Corey Linsley from the Packers. They released Try Turner, so they need a replacement. So Christian Darrisaw, get youth in there would be good. 14 Vikings. They could go Elijah Vera Tucker here. I was tossing and turning about this, but I have them going Kwity Paye. Apparently, Daniel Hunter hasn't requested a trade yet, but he's close. But I think he should stay because Daniel Hunter and Kwity Paye would form a nice duo there. And then Delvin Tomlinson at defensive tackle. So nose tackle they signed, mostly defensive tackle, but they have a pretty nice defensive line there. So draft Kwity Paye to pair with Daniel Hunter and Delvin Tomlinson. You'll be set there off the edge with Hunter and Kwity Paye. One of the best duos in the league if they do that. Kwity Paye is a big riser in my opinion. I didn't really know who he was until like a couple months ago. Even a month ago, this month. At 15 Patriots, this is where I pull the trigger. Mac Jones, quarterback from Alabama. I don't think they have to trade up. I think they can get Mac Jones as soon as possible here. That doesn't make sense. I think they can wait and still get Mac Jones. So, yeah, they can wait and still get Mac Jones. So, I think, yeah, Cam Newton is not it. They signed Nelson Aguilar this offseason. They signed Kendrick Bourne this offseason. They signed all their other guys this offseason. And at running back, Damian Harris, Sony Michel. Please don't draft another running back, but I have Mac Jones falling to them at 15. I don't know how realistic this is, but that's what I have. I'm going to go a little quicker here. We're approaching 20 minutes, so I don't want to make this too drag out and too long. Next, at 16, Cardinals Jc Horn. He's really risen above Caleb Farley, in my opinion, as the second best corner. I'll have draft rankings in a week or two here, but Caleb Farley had back surgery. Apparently, he'll be ready for training camp. But I think Jc Horn is the more total package. Surefire tackler. He's really good in covers, too. So, next, 17 Raiders. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. I think he's really good. Some people, I think Michael Parsons is the best linebacker in this draft, obviously, because I had him going 8 picks earlier to the Denver Broncos. But Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah would be a nice fit at linebacker in the second level behind Arden Key and Cleveland Farrell if he can improve. And Max Crosby was a real surprise a couple years ago. So yeah, 18 Dolphins, Jalen Phillips. They could go Najee Harris here, running back from Alabama, but I have them going Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips is from Miami. He had more production than Gregory Rousseau. Maybe the concussions and injuries scared some people, but not me. I think Miami. Jalen Phillips goes to Miami Dolphins at 18. Number 19 overall, Washington football team, linebacker Azeez Ojulari. He can play off the edge too, but I like him at linebacker from Georgia. In an ideal world, they would draft Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, but obviously he went to the Raiders a couple of picks ago, number 17 overall. As I mentioned earlier, if you're watching this all the way through and didn't skip around. But, yeah, I'll mention it again in case you are. But I think Azeez Ojulari is a perfect fit in Washington. They have Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, Ryan Kerrigan is getting older if they re-sign him, and Ryan Anderson on the defensive line. Cole Holcomb is not an ideal linebacker, but he was pretty good. Troy Dye still there, and they lost Ronald Darby, but they have William Jackson at cornerback and still Kendall Fuller. So I think they can, if they draft Azeez Ojulari here at 19, like I have them doing, then they'll be set. And on the offense, Ryan Fitzpatrick and Taylor Heineke. As of right now, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick will win the job. But they can still draft a quarterback, but there's no good quarterbacks. I think Kyle Trask would be an extreme reach. Even Davis Mills, in my opinion, and Kellen Mond. But yeah, I think that could go. So in their offense, Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel, Antonio Gibson, draft running back in the later rounds. That would be ideal. So yeah, that's what I have. Georgia linebacker Azeez Ojulari going to the Washington football team. I'm assuming they'll get a new name soon before the season, but for right now, Washington football team, 19 overall, selects Georgia linebacker Azeez Ojulari. 20 Bears, offensive tackle Elijah Vera Tucker. You need to protect Andy Dalton. Bears fans went from hoping and thinking they are honestly, realistically thinking they would get Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson told Seahawks teammates yesterday that he's not going anywhere, to getting Andy Dalton, and they tweeted out QB1, and Bears fans are mad at that. But you got to get some protection for him, so Elijah Vera Tucker. I was considering Kadarius Toney or Rashad Bateman around that more, but ultimately they need offensive line. I'm not rushing here, but I'm just going a little quicker so it isn't dragged out. I want to keep it around 25 to 30 minutes. So 21 Colts go Rashad Bateman, wide receiver from Minnesota. I was thinking Kadarius Toney. thinking. Considering Kadarius Toney, I was considering Rondell Moore. I was considering Terrace Marshall Jr. at all receivers, considering Greg Newsome at cornerback, but ultimately I picked, I slotted them Rashad Bateman, who is a great consolation prize, if you can call it that. So yeah, 22 Titans, I have them selecting Greg Newsome, the second from Northwestern. People are splitting him. He gets injured a lot, but people are splitting him, but I think that would be a great pick, in my opinion. 23 Jets, they need a running back because they signed Corey Davis. They signed Corey Davis and Keelan Cole. They were close to signing Juju. I don't know if they actually offered him, but close to signing Juju. Corey Davis, Keelan Cole, Chris Herndon at tight end. I don't know. He's not very good, but they need a running back for all that. And Zach Wilson, they're going to draft number 2 overall, like I said earlier in this video, as you know. So I've been getting Alabama running back Najee Harris at 23 overall. 24 Steelers, I could go Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle from Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State offense wasn't really good, but he was good in the trenches. You could flip those two around, Najee Harris and Tevin Jenkins, the Jets and or Steelers, but I have that going Jets, Najee Harris, Steelers, 24, going Tevin Jenkins. At 25, the Jaguars. At first, I had Trayvon Moehrig, but then I thought about it, and I have them going with Christian Barmore, defensive tackle from Alabama. Again, this team has a really bright future in drafting Trevor Lawrence, so that's why Christian Barmore, defensive tackle from Alabama. Next, 26 Browns. I have them going Tulsa linebacker Zaven Collins. I'm really high on him. I wasn't as high as I am now on him in the beginning of the draft process back in like February, but I have the Browns going Zaven Collins. 27 Ravens. I have them going Terrace Marshall Jr. Terrace Marshall was really good from LSU. That year they had Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Terrace Marshall Jr. It was awesome. So I won the national championship year. So a couple years ago. So I have them drafting Terrace Marshall Jr. 27 of the Ravens. 28 Saints, Elijah Moore. He's risen up the board. Everyone's board, but mine too. Wide receiver from Ole Miss. So he's the total package in my opinion, and he can sneak into the end of the first round. 30 Bills. Yes, I have the Bills pulling a trigger on a wait, what? No. Sorry, I skipped a couple picks. I have the Saints at 28 going Elijah Moore. Okay, I skipped the Packers at 29. Packers go Caleb Farley. I was thinking Kadarius Toney or Rondell Moore, but Caleb Farley can challenge Kevin King for the cornerback 2 spot, and I think he'll eventually win it. Some people are scared about his injuries, his back surgery, his history with injuries, but I'm not. So the Packers go Caleb Farley. 30 Bills. Now here we are. We're pulling the trigger on Clemson running back Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne is the all-time ACC all-time rushing leader. The end of the season, he got that accolade. He achieved that goal, I guess you could say. So all-time ACC leader, and he hasn't had more than 20 carries a game in like 2.5 years, 3 years. So he doesn't fumble a lot. He's sold very well. I think he's the total package coming out in the running back rankings in a week or two here. With all the other positions, but I was thinking corner, Asante Samuel Jr. for the Bills. He is one of my guys in this draft, but Asante Samuel Jr. for the Bills, he is. Aaron Robinson, too, from UCF, but those will be reaches, especially Aaron Robinson. So, in some people's eyes, in my eyes, too, so I have the Bills going Travis Etienne. 2 more picks. 31 Chiefs, they go Rondell Moore. They lost I know they signed Demarcus Robinson, but they lost Sammy Watkins a couple weeks ago to the Baltimore Ravens. I have them doing that. That's that. Next at 32, Buccaneers. Why not get some more edge help with Penn State defensive end Jason Owe. So Buccaneers, maybe TBS put out their 4.0 mock draft the other day without trade. They have the Buccaneers going Kyle Trask for the future. That Tom Brady's still playing at an elite level or close to elite, in my opinion. So you don't draft a quarterback. Maybe you can draft one next year, but that would be a huge reach. Kyle Trask maybe at one point was a mid to late first round pick. Now he's like late second, early third, in my opinion. So 32 Buccaneers go Penn State defenseman Jason Owe. To pair with that great defense with Antoine Winfield Jr. at safety, Carlton Davis at cornerback, which I don't know how much longer Carlton Davis will be on the team with using it. Bad language on his Twitter. If you didn't hear about that, I won't go over it here. It's kind of a sensitive topic, but Anton Winfield Jr. at safety, Carlton Davis at cornerback, Sean Murphy-Bunting at cornerback, Jamal Dean at cornerback, Ndamukong Suh at defensive tackle, Jason Pierre-Paul at defensive end, Vita Vea at defensive tackle, next to Ndamukong Suh, and they get Jason Oweh as a rotational piece, potential starter down the line. So, yeah, that's my mock draft. Some notable players that out of the first round, I'm really high on Asante Samuel Jr., players that I didn't put in the first round. Florida State corner, FSU cornerback, Asante Samuel Jr. He didn't go here. UNC running back Javonte Williams. He didn't go here. Florida wide receiver Kadarius Toney. He didn't go here either. Joe Washington defensive end. Joe Tryon. He didn't go here either. And Kyle Trask. He didn't go here either. So I'm going to be putting out a lot of draft content in honor of the NFL draft. I love the NFL draft. My favorite day of the year probably. Yeah, so in terms of sports and everything, so I'll have rankings in a week or two here. But anyways, guys, in a few days or so, most likely I'll be putting out an NFL draft mock draft 2.0 with trades. This one was without trades, so look out for that one with trades 2.0. So anyways, guys, this is Basketball Store 1130. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.